time.
Family time!
Just as Joshua told the people, and the Bible does record. As for me and my house, we choose to serve the Lord.
Hello and welcome to Family Time. My name is Mr. Harvey and I'd like to give you a very warm hello. Can you say hello back to me? Thank you. It's nice to say hello to people we meet. So during our family time together over the next 5 weeks, we're going to learn to say hello in many different languages. And we're going to start right now in Polish. So let's go all the way to Poland to meet a dear family there who will teach us to say hello in their language.
Hello, we are the Rutnicki's family. My name is Krzysiek.
My name is Dorota.
My name is Ella. My name is Bez Filipek.
We are from Poland.
We would like to teach you how to say hello in Polish. When you want to say hello, you say Cześć.
Cześć! Welcome back. Now, who can tell me what time it is?
It's time for our Bible verse.
That's right. It's Bible verse time. And our Bible verse today is Daniel 2:28a. That's just the first part. We're going to go all the way up to the word heavens. The verse says, "There is a God in the heavens." There is a God in the heavens. Now, let's say it again, but this time I'm not going to say it with you. Turn to your family and speak this verse to each other. We'll put it on the screen, but I'm not going to say anything. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Good job. Now let's go back to our family in Poland and hear this verse in Polish.
We would like to tell you the verse for today in Polish. It's from Daniel 2:28a. Ale jest Bóg w niebie.
And no matter what language you say it in, it's really true. There is a God in heaven. And just because we can't see him doesn't mean he isn't there. He is there. He's always there. Behind the scenes. He always cares for us and hears our prayers. It's nice to know, especially during these difficult times, that there is a God in heaven. That he's in control and that the heavens do rule.
Behind the scenes, God is in control,
And the heavens do rule.
Sing along as strong as you can.
Behind the scenes, the heavens rule in everything. Our prayers are heard, God sends his word. Be strong, be peaceful, and be strong.
When troubles come, go find a chum. Together we can overcome. Just step away, take time to pray.
Request compassions of our God. God grants, God gives, God makes us live. We're his, our ways belong to him. Because behind the scenes, the heavens rule in everything. Behind the scenes, the heavens rule in everything. Our prayers are heard, God sends his word. Be strong, be peaceful, and be strong.
When troubles come, go find a chum.
Together we can overcome. Just step away, take time to pray. Request passions of our God. God grants, God gives, God makes us live. We're His, our ways belong to Him. Because behind the scenes, the heavens rule in everything.
I love that song. Our God is kind, loving, and mighty behind the scenes. Now let's see if we can find some of those words on page 9 of our activity book. If you don't have it, you can download and print it for free by clicking on Daily Printouts from the Family page on thebibletellsmeso.com. It looks like this. In just a few seconds, we're going to show you the answers to this activity page. But before we do, pause the video and work on this activity page together as a family on your own. Then come back and see if you get all the words. Okay? We'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, welcome back. Now let's see where the hidden words are. Did you get all the words right? I'm sure you did. Now, if you would like to share that with us, ask your parents to take a picture of you holding the page and send it to us by going to Share on the Family Time page. It's easy to send it, and we might show it on the next video. Do you know what time it is now?
It's story time.
That's right, it's story time. I love this story, and I hope you will too. It's about a little girl who lived a long time ago. It's about how much she loved the Bible and what she did to get a copy of her very own. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy this story, Mary and her Bible.
This is a true story about a little Welsh girl called Mary Jones, who lived a very long while ago. Her parents were very poor, and they could not read, and there was no school for Mary to learn how to read and write. Only rich people could afford to buy books, and as there were not many Bibles printed in the Welsh language, the people who had them treasured them very much. In a small village in North Wales, Jacob Jones and his wife lived in their little stone cottage. Mary, their daughter, looked after the hens and helped in the house so that her parents could weave cloth to sell for a living. Each Lord's Day they walked 2 miles to another village and enjoyed singing the hymns with people from surrounding villages. Mary loved to sing and hear the Bible read aloud. She tried to remember the verses she heard in the meetings and would repeat them to her parents when they got home. I wish I had a Bible, thought Mary, and I wish I could read. One day Mary was sweeping the leaves in the garden when Mrs. Evans, a neighbour, stopped to speak to her mother. "That was a good meeting last night," she said. "The singing nearly lifted the roof." "Yes, it's so good to praise the Lord," said Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Evans smiled. "Your Mary is a real songbird and knows all the tunes and all the words, from memory too." Mary's face saddened. "I wish I could read," she said softly, "but I can remember the songs and the Bible verses, so that's good." Mrs. Evans leant over the fence. "Well, my dear," she said kindly, "when you can read, come to the farm and I'll let you read our Bible as much as you like." Mary's face was a picture. "Oh, thank you so much," she said as she began to sweep again. She felt so happy. One day her father came home from the market with good news. At last, a school was opening in the next village. Mary jumped for joy when she heard about it. "When, father?" she pleaded. "When can I go?" "In another 3 weeks," he said. "But don't forget, you'll have to walk 2 miles each day." "Oh, that's nothing," she said, looking down at her bare feet. "Half an hour's walk on a lovely morning is no problem." Her mother was looking rather bothered, but Mary guessed what she was thinking and wrapped her arms around her. "Don't worry, mother," she said. "I'll do my jobs first each day before I go to school." Mary was true to her word. When the day came, she got up extra early and fed the chickens and packed some bread and cheese for her lunch and went off to school singing. School was a new experience for all the children. Mary was nearly 10 years old, but still had to start at the beginning, learning how to write the alphabet with a chalk on a slate. She loved all the lessons and looked forward to being able to read properly. It wasn't long before her hard work was rewarded, and one afternoon she knocked at the door of Mrs. Evans' farmhouse. "Come in and shut the door," said Mrs. Evans. "I have put the Bible ready for you." Mary felt so excited as she carefully turned back the cover of the big book. It was quite hard to begin with, but at last she found the New Testament and some verses that she knew. After a while, Mrs. Evans called her as it was time to go home, and she gave her some hot milk and scones. On the way home, Mary had a wonderful idea. She would save up and buy her Bible of her very own. She burst through the door of her cottage with shining eyes. "Father, Father, will you make me a box? I'm going to earn some pennies by working for people and put them in the box and save up, and then one day I can buy my very own Bible." "Oh, that's a grand idea," he said. "Of course I'll make a box for you." Mary's days now became even busier. She looked after children to help their mothers. She sewed curtains and sold eggs from her hens. When the year was ended, she opened the little box, but there was only a few pennies. They were all very disappointed, but prayed that she could earn more money and get her Bible soon. Over the next months, more people asked Mary to do jobs for them, but there was still not enough money. Mary did not give up, but patiently went on, putting every penny she earned into that little box. Then one day, when she counted her piles of coins again, Mary realized she had enough, and the years of savings were over. "Now where can I buy my Bible?" she asked eagerly. She went to see Mr. Hu in the village. "I heard you've saved up enough money to buy a Bible," he smiled. "But I'm afraid there aren't any Welsh Bibles anywhere in this area. Mr. Charles in Bala might have one, but that's 25 miles away." 25 miles, repeated Mary slowly.
"25 miles? That's a long ways for a little girl to walk. How about after we're done with this video in just a few minutes, you tell your parents what you think Mary will decide to do. Will she walk that far? Could she walk that far? And then have your parents tell you what they think she'll do. And then we'll find out what she does together tomorrow. But until then, it's nice to know, isn't it, that God is behind the scenes, loving us, hearing us, and caring for us all the time, even in these difficult days where we have to stay home. It's also nice to know that we'll see you again tomorrow for another family time.
As for me and my I